Shalom, shalom. This is Naaman with the DC Camp with Great Millstone, back for another video. But first and foremost, call all Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakah, Quadash. Once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who were well. I'd like to send salutations out also to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways. All right, cities throughout the whole earth, pushing the truth. All right, while we're trying to wake up the remaining hopefully elect, because time is very, very short. If you're paying attention to these prophecies, times that we're in, all right. But then again, here we are with one of these devils, because they're being revealed. We're in that time also that, hey, these people are, more and more people are like, well, wait a minute. And if for nothing else, what Great Millstone has done is force people to reread, all right, and actually study their Bibles. Get a load of that, to the extent that when Putin did what he did, a lot of people, them folks, burn their Bibles. How about that? See how it works? Keep it spiritual, people. Keep it spiritual. Anyway, what we have here is an idiot, one of them folks that called into a Jake's radio broadcast, and he just had to brag about him being so superior. You know, one of them jackasses. All right, yeah. And he got a little bit more than what he felt. I guess he thought that Jake was going to overreact, you know, because, hey, you got to face it. A lot of Jakes are, you know, on the emotional side. And these people know that. So that's why they probably thought he was going to trigger this Jake, but it actually backfired on him. So here we go. It says black radio host, and this is from the so-called African diaspora news. This should be Israelite diaspora, all right? But anyway, it says radio host shuts down a racist caller who says he's superior because he's a white male. Here we go. A so-called white male. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with...
I really hate hearing that Africa bullshit, but I tolerate it because, hey, I'm trying to, you know, open people's eyes somewhat, but, you know, you can only do so much. We can only put the information out there, you know. And the watering and the increase comes from, of course, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, all right? But, yeah. Here we go.
Authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
So we have one of the folks who is a racist, and he called into a brother's radio show to let him know that he is superior to our people because of the color of his skin. Take a look.
I am the superior race. I've never liked a black man a single day in my life.
Okay.
They belong locked up, picking cotton, being my slave.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you this. So if you're the superior race, then why do you, if you're superior, why do you hate on someone who's subordinate than you?
Well, because it's simple as this. I need to let the inferior race know that the superior race will always be superior to them.
Right. So doesn't that make you inferior if you feel like you need to let them know? Shouldn't they already know?
No, because monkeys like to get out of place sometimes, and they like to get out of line. Sometimes men like me have to put those monkeys back in their cage.
So then does that mean that you're not as superior as you think? Because if you were, then the monkey would be in their place, correct?
Yes, which you technically are because you're answering my calls. Like a good boy.
And if you were so superior, you'd actually be doing some superior. You wouldn't be conversing with the inferior monkeys. You wouldn't be conversing with the inferior. So that makes you not superior. You just basically contradicted your whole situation, huh?
If they are not of the white race, they are inferior, and they must be that known to them on a day-to-day basis.
What makes you superior?
My white skin color.
Really? So how? Tell us, please.
I'm superior by all means by just being white.
So how does that? So when you get a suntan, you need to put sun thing on your skin.
I turn beautiful tan. I don't turn dark black.
So this segment actually went on for over 5 minutes, and this racist individual had so much more to say, amongst saying that we are a particular animal that I cannot use on this.
Yeah, but I am. He called they call us monkeys. All right, but here's the thing. First of all, you're not white. You are a red. All right. Your skin is actually translucent. The blood and whatever else is there shows through it. That's a curse. All right. And you're really a base people. All right. You are of the nation of Edom, descendants of Jacob's brother, who is an Israelite, who is the progenitor of the Israelites. All right. You are his brother. You are the descendants of his brother Esau. All right. So you are a red Hebrew Edomite. All right. You're a cursed people. You're a dead end race. And it's something she's since passed away now, just over 8 years ago. She was born in Chicago. I'm going to get some quotes from her. Let's see. Where did I have that? I thought I had it already. Let's see. Here it is. A lot of you may know who I'm talking about. This is Frances Cresswell. She was born in Chicago. She had a practice here in D.C. She went to school here at Howard. Yeah, she passed away, let's see, early 2016. So, yeah, just over 8 years ago. All right. And her, she wrote, of course, the ISIS paper, which came about after some essays of hers over a span of years she put together. Her first book, The Crest Theory of Color Confrontation, she self-published in 1970. Shouldn't take you, shouldn't be too hard to understand as to why. All right. It says it appeared in the 1974 edition of the Black Scholar. This was an introduction to her thoughts that would be developed in the ISIS papers, released 22 years later. All right. It was a compilation of Welsing's essays about global and local race relations. All right. Because she was into, child psychology. It says in this book she talks about the genocide of people of color globally, along with issues faced by so-called black Americans. According to Welsing, the genocide of people of color is caused by white people's inability to produce melanin. The minority status of whites has caused what she calls a preoccupation with white genetic survival. Exactly. All right, but little did she know or understand that this was biblical. All right. She believed that injustice caused by racism will end when non-white people worldwide recognize. Well, they're not. All right. So that's why you have to separate this science stuff like this and go with what the scriptures say. All right, because the scriptures are dead on. It goes on to say she also tackled issues Welsing such as drug use, murder, teen pregnancy, infant mortality, incarceration, and unemployment. All right, because they attacked us and come at us at so many angles. All right, it says black men are at the center of Welsing's discussion because, according to her, they have the greatest potential to cause white genetic annihilation. That's why they always go after the men. And this goes back to, we keep saying, and it's biblical, that your ancestry is determined through the male lineage. All right, this is why. It says views in the ISIS paper. She described white people as genetically defective descendants of recessive genetic mutants. She wrote that due to this defective mutation, again, that's a curse put on them from on high. All right, the Most High Yahweh. All right, when it goes to Isaiah 34, it talks about the people of his curse. That's who it's talking about. Edom. The very name Adawam, which in Hebrew means red. All right. She wrote that due to this defective mutation, they may have been forcibly expelled from. Well, no, very, very close, within walking distance. All right, because they were from Mount Seir or Petra, which is the capital. All right, Basra is another major city there, capital. All right, but that's synonymous from wherever they are now. All right, wherever they're headquartered. No, they were expelled from there and pushed up into what is now known, as um, uh, all that crap that's going on now. Ukraine, Kiev, that area there, the Caucasus Mountains and above. All right, and they migrated west. All right. It says racism and the views of Welsing is a conspiracy to ensure white genetic survival. She's absolutely right. But again, it goes deeper than that. This is spiritual warfare. All right. Where you have the good, you must have the evil. All right. Uh, she attributed AIDS and addiction to crack cocaine. Yeah, because they put all that shit in our neighborhoods. So that was an act of war on our people. And that's been proven over and over. It's not a conspiracy theory, you know, as they like to say. It says it says Welsing defined racism as, all right, racism, white supremacy is the local and global power system dynamic. That's why this whole, when we talk about this beast system, yes, this is what we're ultimately what we're talking about. All right, it's a structured and maintained by those who classify themselves as white. Notice she did get that right because they're not, but they classify themselves as such. All right, whether consciously or subconsciously determined, this system consists of patterns of perception, logic, symbol, formation, thought, speech, action, and emotional response as conducted simultaneously in all areas of people, activity, economics, education, entertainment, labor. It's in all aspects. That's why when we use the word, um, what is it? Um, damn it, institutionalized race system, or what's another word for it? That's close enough. It'll come to me. Uh, it's in it's in everything. See, this is what we're talking about, and although some of us may not articulate it in a certain way, all right, and they'll play around with it because you know, because they're stickler for certain words and everything like that. Uh, but this is what we mean systemic. That's the word I was trying to think of. All right, racism. It's in all aspects of the culture here, and it's for a reason and a but. All right, and we understand it because these are the curses that were put on us for disobedience. All right, and these curses identify us, as it says in the scriptures. It identifies us as the Israelites, not them, us. So he was kind of, like feeling himself, not realizing how big of an ass. All right, it says Welsing also was against white supremacy and what she saw as the emasculation of black men, and it continues to this day. She theorized that white people were the first people with albinism who were driven from Africa by the black natives. Well, so a little bit deeper than that, like I said. All right, you have to go all the way back. We understand you're talking about spirits here ultimately, and the story of Cain and Abel, and then coming back. That's in Genesis the 4th chapter, and then you come back in Genesis 25th chapter. All right, and you get Jacob and Esau, those same spirits. All right, when you understand that, you'll understand what's going on. All right, we can get these scriptures on these opposing forces. You got Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter. You have in the Apocrypha, you can go into Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, 33rd chapter, start at 10 and 11 and go on down. All right, where you have one, you have to have the other. That's just the way this reality is set up. In other words, you have love, you have to have hate. All right, you have good, you have to have evil. Otherwise, how would you know the difference between the two? All right, so that's enough of that. We can get some scriptures because at the end of the day, you're talking about someone with a huge, and I'm talking about these so-called white people with a huge inferiority complex. All right, so let's go to Jeremiah 17. Excuse me, slocking. Talks about a deceitful heart. All right. Verse 18, it says, "Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not, and this is King David, of course, all right? It says, I mean, not King David, I'm sorry. I got that scripture, but I was thinking of Psalms. I'm sorry. Salaki that. It says, let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded. All right? And a lot of Jake are just that. They confounded because this system that is set up, all right, a lot of Jake know, yeah, it's against me, blah, 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 but they don't know exactly what's going on. That's one of the reasons, again, why we're out there on the highways and byways to answer these questions, if you will allow us. But a lot of Jake are so, or have been so turned off and been so demoralized, they don't care anymore. All right, they really don't. They've this system has beat. Talking about the system has beat them down to a point where they're so demoralized. You tell them the truth, they still don't give a fuck. They just gonna fan their hand. Why? Because this devil has succeeded in turning them into basically just mindless drones. All right. Once again, let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded. And this is a big thing because being in the scriptures, you know, you have to examine yourself, or you're required to examine yourself daily. So let's get 2 Corinthians. Let's see, it's 13. Hold on, 2 Corinthians 13. Somewhere in here. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. All right, and this goes hand in hand with Philippians. Let's get that 2 and 12, because this is something you have to do on your own. Nobody. All right. 2. Let's see. The lights in the world. Here it is. It says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, because, you know, this is as much to do with what you do in the dark. All right. Do you have that discipline? All right. Are you going to stay focused? All right. When nobody's looking. Or in other words, you're not putting on an act. He says, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation. All right. And here's the part a lot of people just, especially in the Christian church, don't pay attention to, with fear and trembling. See, the Christian church doesn't teach you to fear the Most High. Just as this devil here, he doesn't fear the Most High. Hell, he thinks he's on par, even maybe greater. These Edomites, these so-called white people. All right, with fear and trembling. And now that I said that, let's go to let's see, Proverbs. Hold on here. Let's see, Proverbs. Let's see, 3. And I will start at 5. Of course, everyone knows this. It's basics. That's all you need. All right? Don't get so caught up in trying to be so deep. Because a lot of people, you'll figure out you had bird baths that are deeper than a lot of these people that come along. But anyway, it says Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Most High Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Seems simple enough, right? But again, you think this devil does this? Hell no. Like I said, he thinks he's the cock of the walk. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. All right? But no, this devil wants you to go to his universities. All right? It says, be not wise in thine own eyes. The hubris, the pride of these devils. All right? These universities, for all I could stand Saturday before camp, I watched a little of Howard University's commencement ceremony, you know, and you can just look at those Jakes and those Jakes' eyes, and it's like, nah. It says, be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, and depart from evil. Verse 8, it says, it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. These are things you need, all right? It says, thy navel, all right? As in, for all the organs of nourishment. This is our nourishment here, all right? Marrow, okay? Bones, frame of body. True piety promotes bodily health, all right? So there you go. Let's see, I had something else here. Oh, I said Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 38. And then we can watch the rest of this video. But yeah, it occurred. She said I watched a video of hers years ago. This is a while before she died. And she said something that stuck with me. And she was talking about the so-called white man. She said it occurred to her that someone is constantly saying, as in this jackass here in this video, someone is constantly saying that they're so superior all the time. It occurred to her, well, no, you actually got an inferiority complex, and they do. You can tell how when they're around Jake, it's envy, and I'll get that. That's a scripture. This is Psalms 38 and 18. For I will declare mine iniquity, I will be sorry for my sin. This is something that, because we're in Psalms 51st chapter now, a little something we do after camp. Again, going into self-examination. These are things that are required from you, from each individual. Hey, you got to look at yourself. All right? For I will declare mine iniquity. I will be sorry for my sin. All right? Let's see, 19. But mine enemies, all right, are lively, and they are strong. And they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. Is that not our case? Verse 20. They also that render evil for good are mine adversaries, because I follow the thing that good is. And even more so going into the days that will soon be upon us, they're trying to get rid of these scriptures. All right, because certain truths are being manifest, and one being that those people that currently occupy the Holy Land are not the true chosen. All right, so you have a group of people that have perpetuated a fraud upon the world, a criminal organization that masks itself as the chosen, and then therefore have gotten away with so much. All right, but they overplayed their hand now, and this is what this is all about, because people aren't falling for the bullshit anymore. All right, let's go back to the video, and let's see how much more we got here.
Platform, but it is an animal that is used very often when people want to refer to us. And I think you can guess what that animal is. And he said that we need to be tamed just as those particular animals need to, and we need to be put in our place, basically. He also mentioned that he was a big 6'8", 320-pound man, and he's a big one of them folks, which probably isn't true. He's probably one of those really small men who has what they call small man syndrome. And as this brother said, he feels very inferior to us. Because let's face it, you're going to call...
Hold on. I got to do something here. Hold on, because I don't want this to... All right, I'm back. I apologize. I just had to make a little room because I didn't want the video to just shut off. I've experienced that several times. It's not fun. But in any case, let's go ahead and finish this video out, see what else we got here.
Call into a radio station to tell us how superior you are. That it means that you are very insecure. And the fact that you felt the need to do that says that. Just like this brother said, he says you actually feel inferior, and that's why you feel the need to be coming out of the wild and shouting from the rooftops that you are superior.
I am the superior race. I've never liked a black man a single day in my life.
Okay.
They belong locked up, picking cotton, being my slave.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you this. So if you're the superior race, then why did you need? Why do you? If you're superior, why do you hate on someone who's subordinate than you?
Well, because it's simple as this: I need to let the inferior race know that the superior race will always be superior to them. They
right. So doesn't that make you inferior if you feel like you need to let them know? Shouldn't they already know?
This racist, I guess, take on it is that no, I need to keep telling you people that because you just don't get it. Well, contrary to what you think, we know that what it really is that you people are just very, very afraid, jealous, and envious of us. And you feel the need to keep hollering about it. Like that saying says, empty barrels make a lot of noise. And that's how they feel, empty and inferior. So I love how this brother dealt with him. As I said, there was much, much more to it. The brother did end up ending the conversation with him because he did become much more verbally abusive. And it just became, a waste of his time to continue trying to explain to this racist that you are a racist and you're inferior. And so he let that caller go. Honestly, you Karens and Kens, you really do think that you're offending us, but we are continuing to live our lives and thrive. And so I know it bothers you. Sorry, but you really can't be oppressed as much as you want to be. You can't be. Sorry, carry on. We are living our lives.
Exactly. That's it. There's only just a few seconds left, but the thing is, and they she's right. They are afraid. All right. I'm looking at all these instances where they try to shame us. The thing with, I hate to use these people as an example, but Beyonce, they tried to make her feel bad about the country album she released, but it's blowing up. Same thing with Angel Reese. They gave that, what was her name, Caitlin Clark, this shoe contract. So Angel Reese, all she did was, no, I'm going to ditch Nike and I'm going to go with Reebok. And, again, blew up. All right. So they see this. They see that they're losing. They see that really this is the end. So don't be surprised that it's going to start. Well, it already has started getting physical because you have a lot of, well, not a lot, but a few Jake women that have gotten, thinking they're going to be hand in hand, as the scriptures say, with these devils, and they end up getting chopped up. But hey, that's going to happen. Hey, go doesn't cross the aisle. Hey, more power to you. Just don't come hollering and screaming about somebody saving you. Oh well. But let me get this one last scripture here. This is going to be, because she mentioned, and it's about a lot of jealousy and envy. All right, this is James 3. And let's see. Where is it? Let's see. Here it is. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. Is that not the case? Because at the basis of this, all right, envying, translated Greek, which usually means zeal, emulation, all right. The envious man stands in his own light. He thinks his candle cannot shine in the presence of another sun. He aims directly at men, obliquely at the Most High, who makes men to differ. All right, strife, rivalry. He's in a constant rivalry with Jake. All right, because he feels inferior. All right, let's look that up. I didn't have it ready, but let's go see. Inferior. Let's see. All right. In psychology, inferiority complex is a consistent feeling of inadequacy, often resulting in the belief that one is in some way deficient, and they are. They know it. Or inferior to others. According to Alfred Adler, a feeling of inferiority may be brought about by upbringing as a child, for example, being consistently. All right. let's see, consistently compared unfavorably to a sibling. Physical and mental, go all the way back to Genesis 25th chapter. Actually, Genesis 4th chapter, I stand corrected. And then hopefully you understand Genesis 25th chapter. All right. Physical and mental limitations. Remember in Genesis 25, now that I brought that up, the scripture, let me see, is it 25 and 25? Hold on. Makes this case. All right, here it goes. Abraham's death, and we scroll on down here to Rebecca. There's let's see, Isaac's sons. Here we go. 19 is where you need to start. All right. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Most High Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, and the Most High Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? All right. And she went to inquire of the Most High Yahweh. All right. And the Most High Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now, was he all hairy? No. Because when you go, let me get it here. This was custom in this day and time, what they would do. This is Exodus 25. It says contributions to the sanctuary. What they used to do is this right here. And this is hold on. Let's see. And ram skins dyed red, and and badger skins and shittim wood, and ram skins dyed red. All right. All right. It's a metaphor and simile. All right. So what you have here. All right. And the first came out red all over like. All right. In hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, which means what? Wasted away is he. All right. Ishashua. All right. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them. Now, why didn't it mention what Jacob looked like? This right here is that curse I mentioned earlier. And the first came out red all over. He had no pigmentation. Who on the planet looks like that? 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Another clue. A man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. All right? It tells you what does plain mean when you go into it. All right? And this is that rivalry. All right? I don't want all here it is, plain. That's Strong's H 8535. All right?
Strong's H 8535. Tom.
Perfect, complete. One who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, etc. You see how uncoordinated. All right. these devils are. Again, they are the basest of man. It's not only talking about how he looks, it's talking about his mentality. All right. One who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, etc. Sound, wholesome. All right. Jacob was a what? Dwelled in tents, right? An ordinary, quiet sort of person. All right. Not all jumping off of mountains and shit like that. That's their nature, not ours. Complete, morally innocent, having integrity. All right. When you go down further in Genesis 25, which I encourage you to read if you're not familiar with this story, Edomites, that's the whole thing behind how he sold his birthright, a lack of integrity. All right, but he's managed to, with this social engineering, he's managed to basically reverse this. And this is how and why Jake is perceived as he is in the world. Again, part of those curses. All right, one who is morally and ethically pure. All right, going into Revelation 12, verse 10. Habakkuk 2 and 15. Let's get that real quick so you understand where I'm coming from. That wine that he gave our people, all right, to throw us off, get us to go off, and then he'll go, and then that's where Revelation 12 and 10 go. It says, Habakkuk 2 and 15, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink. Those philosophies and doctrines that he knows is going to cause people to go off, which he did to our people. That puttest thou bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. All right? And this is why we're in this time now that people are like, well, wait a minute. What have you done to these people to cause him? Oh, but the other nations can't can't fake it either because they've known. But they prospered from it. But now that they're getting foot put up their ass, oh, now we got a problem. Now we're going to tell you, yeah, you right, you people of the Israelites, yeah. That's Psalms 83. All right. So yeah, that's going to do it for this. Wow, everything's coming to a head. All right, and it's beautiful to see. That's why a lot of times, we'll end with Sirach or Ecclesiastes 25 and 7 because we're in that time that we're seeing the downfall of our enemy, and it's beautiful. It really is. All right. And as I open with my introduction about time growing short, hell yeah. All right, so that's it for this video. Once again, as I'm used to doing, I would like to hope that whoever views this is edified, of course. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. All right. Filter everything through the scriptures. And once again, I like to stress the importance, especially in these days to come, all right, of prayer and fasting. So with that, until the next video, shalom.